For step 3 of the WOW facial, we're going to use the WOW Fusion device, which is a 0.6mm device, and we've selected 3 solutions to go into Samantha's vial. So we have HA factor, so you should always use the HA factor as a base. This adds viscosity to the product to ensure that it is the right viscosity to move through the device, flow into the skin, but not roll off the skin. So 1.25 mils of HA factor, and then we need to use another 1.25 mils of our more watery solutions. This will create the correct viscosity to flow through the device. So for Samantha, we've chosen the Age Complex and the R-VIT. Her main concern is aging, so I am going to use more Age Complex in the device than I am R-VIT. I'm now going to draw up and make Sam's WOW Fusion device with the solutions that we selected for her out of her skin consultation. So we have a 0.6mm WOW Fusion device. So the WOW Fusion device has 20 very tiny needles inside it. They're so tiny, they're 0.6mm in length and 0.13mm in diameter at the tip. It's a very smooth needle with a tapered beveled end to aid the flow of solution into the skin, particularly to the epidermal-dermal junction. So we manufacture the WOW Fusion device as a medical device, and we manufacture it in line with ISO 13485 medical device manufacturing standards. This ensures that we are manufacturing the device with the same tested and verified raw materials every single time we manufacture this device, and that the sterility of the device is guaranteed in every single device. So to open the WOW Fusion device, we need to pull back the Tyvek backing, and you pop the device, you put your thumb at the base of the device and you pop the device out of the blister pack as such. Now we need to unscrew the lid. We're going to keep the safety cap on the needle head to protect those needles until it's time for us to use the device. So to fill the device, you are going to need a 2mm syringe and an 18 gauge needle. You can use a slightly smaller needle. We do recommend between an 18 and a 23 gauge needle. So if you don't always have an 18 gauge needle in a clinic or salon, anything up to a 23 gauge is good enough. But I find the hyaluronic acid comes out of the vial a lot easier with the 18 gauge needle. So before we start, we need to pop the safety caps off, the sterility caps off the mesotherapy solutions, like such. I'm going to do that for all of them. So we use a cold filtration system to sterilise our mesotherapy, and this means that the active ingredients in the solutions remain highly efficacious, coupled with the novel, unique way that we get the solutions into the skin using the WOW Fusion device, means that the skin is beautiful at the end of the treatment. Guarantees maximum effectiveness and fantastic results post WOW Fusion. Taking our needle syringe out of its sterile packaging and placing the needle on the syringe, we are now going to start drawing up our solutions to get them into the WOW Fusion device. The sterile mesotherapy vials are vacuum packed, so the first time that you use them you will need to break the vacuum on the inside of the vial, and we do that by placing a small amount of air into the vial as such. Now, to draw out 1.25 mils of hyaluronic acid, make sure the needle is sitting inside the solution. There is a break at the back of the sticker so that you can see that your needle is sitting in the solution. And then very slowly start pulling the plunger backwards so that the syringe fills with solution. And on Sam's fish, quite petite, so we are going to use 1.25 mils of solution. So it's really important when we are decanting the solution out of the syringe and into the WOW Fusion device that we do it without the needle attached to the syringe, because this can create froth on the inside of the vial and will block during treatment. So make sure your needle is empty and that all hyaluronic acid solution is removed from the needle, because it does actually hold quite a lot of solution. And then very slowly decant that hyaluronic acid into the Wow Fusion device. We're going to repeat this same process for the R-VIT and the age complex. However, I'm going to make sure that these combined add up to 1.25 mils, because you need a ratio of 1 part HA to 1 part more watery mesotherapy. For Samantha's Wow Fusion device, I've decided that I'm going to use 1.8 mils of age complex and 0.425 or 0.5 of R-VIT. So in goes 0.8 of age complex. Not 0.5 of R-VIT, and that is Samantha's beautiful cocktail. Now, when you're screwing the lid of the needle head on, you screw it until it catches on the rubber ring, but you don't over tighten it, because that will block the flow of solution through the device. So we're going to screw it till it catches, then give it a little tighten. We're going to swirl the solution, never shake it, just to really make sure those ingredients are all mixed in together. Now the next thing that I want to do is check the functionality of the device, and we're going to do this by taking off the safety cap, and if you can see, there is a central PVC button in the middle of the device. Turn the device upside down, and with the rim of the safety lid, I want you to check the functionality. So if you can see, there's a small platform bouncing up and down on the inside of the device when we push that central button. That's a sprung platform that will allow the solution to flow out of the vial and down and around the needle head. 3 or 4 flicks in a downward motion until we see solution land on our glove. Always do this away from your client. 1, 2. So you can see we've already got solution flowing out of the device. So I'm going to tap that right into the middle of Sam's forehead. Prepare your client for the needling sensation, and then we're going to stamp in a particular rhythm, making sure that we're applying enough pressure onto the device so that the needles penetrate the skin, so that solution flows down the needles and into the skin, and that we're activating our cell-to-cell communication within the skin as well. So, are you ready, Sam?
I am.
Okay, so we're going to start stamping into the skin. We overlap each stamp by 50% so that we get really good coverage. And then we overlap each previous line by 50% also, ensuring good coverage all throughout the face. Now we're working to the rhythm of the waltz, I call it. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you need to ensure that the bottom of the device is always facing the ceiling, because that's how the device works. So when you're getting round to the edge of the face, just move your client's face over. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to lift you up, stand there with that. And as long as you're always overlapping your previous stamps, what direction you go around the face is entirely up to you and what you feel comfortable doing. So I like to work down and up. If you can see, There's plenty of solution flowing out the device. We want the face to be quite wet when we've finished stamping because it's a three-way diffusion into the skin. So we're stamping through moisture because we're overlapping every stamp that we do. We're creating a pooling effect over the punctures that we've created with the Wow Fusion device. When you get to a more fleshy part of the face, like here, where there's no bony pushback, or on the cheeks, just add a little bit of tension onto the skin to ensure that that central button is moving up inside the device and the needles are penetrating the skin. For treating the under eye area, which is a common concern for a lot of people, but it's also a very delicate area. So if you just want to do one pass on the under eyes, you can do that, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. However, if you want to do more extensive work in the under eye area, I do recommend that you put a small swipe of numbing cream on for 10 minutes before you start. So to treat Sam's under eye area, Sam, would you mind opening your eyes and looking up at me? And what I tend to do is I just get a little bit of solution out of the device in a less sensitive area and make sure that the under eye area is wet. Then we're going to pull down slightly so that we're pulling some of the skin down over the ocular bone. And with 4 stamps starting on the outer corner, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we wipe any excess solution away from the eye. The top lip is also a very delicate area and needs treating slightly different to the rest of the face. So what I tend to do is get some solution out of the device, just apply it to the top lip so that it's already wet, and then we're going to stretch the top lip over the teeth, and again we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stamps. We're going to drop down and we're going to overlap and come along the bottom. So I've just emptied the last bit of solution that was left in Sam's vial, and we're just going to press and tap that into the skin. As you can see, she's gone a little bit pink, but not too bad. This will settle very, very quickly.